Hello everyone and welcome. This is section 4.2 from our Big Ideas Math section, and this is all about reflections. But using reflections is about using these rules that we have here. I would pause the video, write these down somewhere because we're going to constantly be referencing them. Okay, so hopefully you have them written down somewhere. I've got mine on a nice little sheet of paper that I can look at each time I need them. And let's see how you do reflections. Okay, so we are going to reflect the point F, negative 1, 2, and G, 1, 2, using the line y equals negative x. So we need to look at our notes and we need to figure out what that rule looks like. Well, this rule says AB becomes negative B, negative A. So let's go ahead and plot F and G. You should always be plotting your points. F is at negative 1, 2. G is at 1, 2. Now, if we look, it kind of would make sense that these are all of our A's, right? Now, according to this rule, A is going to end up in the back. And this negative here, be careful. It doesn't mean negative. It means sign change. All right, so on this first one, A is negative 1, but a sign change would make that positive 1. Same thing over here. A is 1. But a sign change would make that negative 1. The other part of this rule is that your B, which was right here, moves to the front and has a negative, so it's a sign change. So positive 2 becomes negative 2. Positive 2 becomes negative 2. We have moved these points, so this is now F prime and G prime. Let's plot those. Negative 2, 1. Negative 2, 1, F prime, and negative 2, negative 1, G prime. Now, an easy way to check if we did this right is you can just check, does it look like it got reflected across this line? Well, that line, if you remember from Algebra 1, is this line right here. Our shape should look the same on both sides of the line, just kind of reflected. Looks good to me. So again, this chapter is just about using these different rules. So I might not do all of these examples, but I at least want you to see one of each type. So we've got x-axis, y-axis, and we'll probably do an x equals y. So I've got the point 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, 1. We are doing the rule for x-axis, which says AB becomes A, negative B. Okay, so here's all of our A's. Looks like they get to stay in the same spot. So 1, 4, 3. Here are all of the B's. Looks like they get to stay, but they have that sign change. So negative 3, negative 4, negative 1. We moved them, so J prime, K prime, L prime. I'm not going to plot these. You can plot them if you want. I'm not going to. So again, like I said, this section is all about being able to use those rules and knowing which one you're using. So on this one, we have y-axis. Y-axis says AB becomes negative A, B. Here's all of our A's. That's cool. They get to stay in the same spot with a sign change. And then it says all of your B's stay the same. 3, 4, 1. Now, if you're getting the rule right, but you're having trouble plotting, I'll maybe create another video to talk about how to plot points. But if that's what you're struggling with and it's not the geometry, again, watch that video about plotting points. This video is just about using the rules. So we've got one more. And let's look at this example. This has y equals x. So AB becomes BA. So 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, 1, JKL. So they flip spots, because here's our A's, but now they're back here. 1, 4, 3, no sign change. Here's our B's, they get to go to the front, but no sign change. We've moved them once, so we mark them once. Okay, let's maybe just look at a more difficult one, and then we'll talk about lines of symmetry, and then this video will be done. Okay, so we've got A, 3, 2, B, 6, 3, C, 7, 1. And our first rule says subtract 12 from all of your x's. But it says do nothing. Your y's get to stay the same. So that's fun. All right, this is our first movement, so we mark them once. Then the other thing it says is reflect these in the x-axis. The rule for that, and you don't have to have these rules memorized, x-axis is going to be A negative B. So these first ones all get to stay in the same spot. And then our second ones just need a sign change. Okay, this is our second movement, so we mark it with a second prime. And then you could plot those if you want. I'm not going to, but there we go. Just use each rule off of the last points you make. Last thing is lines of symmetry, and I'll be honest, I don't see this super well. Some students, they're really, really, really great at this. Me, not so much. Not so much. So what I like to do is I like to go through a checklist. So the first thing you check is, can you go through the middle, left and right, and up and down? Okay, so what we're looking for is, are both sides the same? So if we go up and down, yeah, both sides are the same. If we go right and left, both sides are the same. Cool. So if you can make it work for all of those, you go on to the next, and that's where we check the diagonals. Or basically, we go halfway between the lines we just created. And again, we're just checking, are both sides the same? No, they're not. You couldn't fold them in half. So our diagonals don't work, so we have 2. All right, here, we're checking up and down. Looks good. Yep, you could fold those in half. Here, yep. So now we check the diagonals. That means we just go between these lines that we just created. Looks good. Looks good. If that works, you check the diagonals of the diagonals. And you just keep going until they stop working. So let's see, we can check here. Looks good. And then we can check here. Looks good. Again, we just keep going in half. But then I check here and those are not the same. All right, so now you count the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one, we checked up and down. Nope. left and right. Yeah, but it didn't work for both, so we're done. And that's lines of symmetry. Okay, so that's section 4.2. Take a look at it, do the homework. I'll see you next video. Have a great day.